Warning. Although the video talks about a movie for children, this video is not for younger audiences, as it will contain swears. There will be mention of Neil Gaiman, who currently has allegations that are left unanswered, as well as mentions of AI. If you are uncomfortable with what was listed, please click off the video. If you have trouble discerning what will be said in the video, or if you have trouble hearing, turn on captions. No AI was used in the making of this video. This was made with raw human skill and passion for an interesting topic.
Hello. I'm KP Studios, and I create whatever I want to create. In this video, I wanted to rant a bit about something that has been brewing in my head for months. If you've read the title, which I hope you did, you already know what I'm going to talk about. If you have seen my previous videos, or if you are a new viewer, do note that I'm a huge Coraline fan. And being a Coraline fan in this decade is very tragic, with people gaslighting and gatekeeping information to each other, or people using it to make AI monstrosities. To be blunt, it's hell. In this video, I'm talking about something specific in the community that people continuously gaslight and hype each other over for, that has been there since the beginning. Before we begin, I'd like to address the voice of this video. If it wasn't obvious, I'm using text-to-speech, because I don't know many people in my social bubble to be my voice. Not to mention that I'm making this video late at night. I have also edited the text-to-speech to have more expression, so the monotone voice won't bore you and drown out what I have to say. That is all. Now let's begin. If you haven't watched Coraline, I highly recommend you click off this video and watch it. Hell, go get yourself a physical copy of the movie for yourself. It's a treat. But basically, Coraline moved into a new house with her hard-working parents who don't have time for her. She finds a small door and enters it to find a perfect copy of her real home, but better. However, things are not as they seem, as there's a high price to pay to stay in the perfect world forever. Alright, so you kind of know the thesis of this movie. Cool. You can tell which writing skill I'm bad at just from that paragraph, but I don't care. Anyway, I'd like to direct your attention to the near end of the movie, as to where this idea of a sequel was born. When Coraline throws both the key and the beldame's hand into the well, her parents, as well as the neighbors, have a garden party. When the camera zooms out to show the pink palace, the cat walks through the sign that he was sitting on top of, having the final scene end off as a cliffhanger. This scene alone has sparked many questions, many theories, and many fan-created sequels. Despite the demand for a Coraline 2, like studios have said that they're not making a sequel, and Neil Gaiman has also said that he won't write a sequel until something good comes to his head, but that leaves fans wondering what a sequel would be. Of course, the movie has been misinterpreted countless times, as far back as when it was first released back in '09. This also includes the many fan sequels, with the oldest ones dating back to August of that same year. Damn, those are old. From the very first fan sequel to recent fan projects in this current decade, all of them have one thing in common with the plot: the beldam is the main conflict. Just from that shot alone when the cat teleported, including the well, this made everybody think that the beldam was still alive and that the final conflict wasn't finished. All these fan sequels follow the same formula. Coraline is older and is at the Pink Palace. The Beldam is back thanks to the well-being, supposedly, a connection to the other world, and it's up to Coraline to put an end to the Beldam's reign, once and for all. Now I know these fan sequels are just for fun, but it's not fun when people actually convince you that a Coraline 2 will happen. So goes with a live-action adaptation, but that's another can of worms. People out there convince other people who don't know any better that a Coraline 2 will come out by using clickbait videos, fake teasers and trailers by using AI. There's a great video talking about that subject made by a bit Frank, and even talking about fake announcements and portraying them as fact. I wish I could stop this, but I'm just one person. So all I can say is to not believe these at face value and do a bit of research. I'm not talking about looking at multiple users on social media to see if they say the same thing. No, I'm talking about going to articles with many cited sources and fact-checking the information. I think I've emphasized enough about the issue and that a Coraline 2 will never happen. But what if? Just what if, somehow, a Coraline 2 came to fruition? Now, realistically, this could happen in two ways. Plan A, write off the story as if it was a continuation of the original film. In the movie, the Beldam is dead. She's gone. She's done for. She won't make a return.
I'm getting out of here. That's what I'm doing. Something's wrong. Shouldn't the old well be here?
Coraline had moved on from her experience with her encounters from the other world, going full circle through her hero's journey, and planning to tell Wybie's grandmother about it. Coraline also seems to be much more approachable to her neighbors and parents, giving a chance to explore the relationship further into a future story. With those elements combined, a Coraline 2 would end up becoming a slice-of-life story since there's no new or unfinished conflict. We'll just get to know Coraline's relationship with her neighbors and friends in that story. On a positive note, on this anticlimactic rendition of that story, we'll get to understand more about the cat and what he really is. Will he be a whole other extraterrestrial entity with motives that the viewer and main characters wouldn't know? Or would he end up as a normal cat that was in between a paranormal event and got dragged into it in the process? Who knows, but that's the only interesting thing you could get out of that film. Plan B, however, is much different. Throw the character arc out of the window and give it a new coat of paint. People loved the storytelling in the first movie, why not do it again and make it modern so new viewers can watch it? The conflict is the same, the hero's journey is reset. Coraline's relationship with her neighbors and family are stiff and one-sided, pretty much the complete opposite of a continuation of the plot. Combine these elements and you get a cash grab movie that didn't understand the assignment to its successful counterpart. But hey, it's what people asked for. I guess the interesting thing about the movie that differs it from the first installment would be the big question of what the cat is. Same thing from what I said previously about it, except it might play out more as a B-plot rather than the main focus. Or it could be branching more off of what the beldam is, which kills the mystery of it all, by explaining how she eats the children she captures, her end goal of it all, or nailing in a backstory of the beldam that may or may not be anticlimactic and ruin her as a threat, like giving her the story that she once was human and is written off as a William Afton of Coraline, because that's another popular writing trope with fan sequels. Obviously I don't want a Coraline 2. I think it's unnecessary, personally, and the plot would be a nothing burger in short, and yet it also has its moments with fan creations. There are many stories out there that I would suggest, but I'm not your mom or other mom. Instead, I'll tell you about my favorite Coraline sequel, being from SH Art Animation. I love the effort that is put into every episode, and, although it tries to find its footing in the early episodes, the plot is really good and it gets better every episode. Fan content is great, but if it was to ever be made by big studios with people who didn't work on the first movie, it could be a 50-50. It could be an homage to the original, but a very boring plot and not as action-packed as people would like it to be, or an action-packed adventure with a confusing plot, but barely having relation with the original. Who knows, but I do want people to know that videos talking about the Coraline 2, and a live action, don't think I forgot about that, are fake, and you should always check your sources. I think I've said what I wanted to say about this topic, but thanks for sticking by. If you enjoyed it, like the video, or if you have your own thoughts about it, let me know in the comments. You can subscribe if you want, but I'm not going to post often on my channel. You could share this to people too, but that's totally up to you. For now, this is the time we part ways. Ciao, and have a good morning, day, noon, evening, or night wherever you are.
Shut your fucking mouth!